Everybody come and catch the show. You want dad jokes, they got plenty of those. So relax and listen on as Dev and Kyle start the apocalypse.
Yeah. There it is. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, shit. I just broke something that I wasn't supposed to break.
I heard that.
Whoops.
Clicking, cracking, breaking sound. Pieces of plastic that appear to go together.
They did go together. They were together. Whoops. Yeah, and that's unfixable because there's tiny little notches. Whoops. That's for my camera. My new camera that you can see me on.
Well, you look great.
Thanks.
So I don't think it's necessary because even though I heard a giant cracking sound on your nice microphone.
Yeah.
This is
whoops.
Speaking of whoops, this is Dev and Kyle break the microphone, start the apocalypse. How you doing, everybody? We're back.
Howdy, people. Party people.
It is early in the morning, at least for me, because life is happening. So I am not having whiskey at 8:30 in the morning for this record.
Neither am I. I'm technically in training right now for my new job, and
congratulations on the new job.
It's a first week of training, but it's a soft first week of training. So there's no real structure. It's just here, do some online courses, fill out your onboarding paperwork, join in a few meetings. And this is the only free time I basically have for the day. I've gotten the rest of my day has been loaded with meetings that I'm just sitting in on. I have nothing to really learn or ascertain from it. I'm just sitting there so I can see this is what the meetings are like. I'm like, it's a meeting that I don't need to see a meeting.
I've had my job for a long time, and sometimes I feel like I'm just doing that in those meetings. Like, hey, just sitting in on it.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah, basically.
It's just how life is. We could be coal miners, though, Dev, as I always remind the people that I work with. Life sucked a long time ago.
Still sucks for coal miners in Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, for coal miners. Yeah, let's get rid of those. Speaking of things that have gotten better and have caused problems because they've gotten better, TVs, Dev. TVs are a lot thinner. They're a lot more gorgeous. TVs are a lot better than they were when we were kids.
Are you about to share some kind of weird kink you have for TVs? They're gorgeous. They're thin and they're gorgeous.
That's not a weird kink. I love TVs. I tell my kids all the time that the TV in the living room is my favorite thing in the house. They better behave around it.
All those HDMI ports in the back and the USBs.
HDMI 4?
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
No, the contrast that I was trying to draw here is the contrast between new things and how the way things used to be. TVs used to be very sturdy, and they were a pain in the ass to move. Lots of people listening to this show may have never moved an original TV, the old glass thick TVs. Did you ever have to move a TV?
Yeah, I had a TV. We upgraded a 32-inch tube TV with the glass kind of convex, I guess. Mm-hmm. Convex is the one that pops out, right? Yeah.
I have no idea.
And yeah, concave because it goes in, convex goes out. Convex screen.
Mm-hmm.
Big 32-inch Sanyo.
Yeah.
You used to get at Walmart. And we upgraded from that to one of the big 50-inch inner projection TVs.
Oh, yeah.
Reflection projection. And it was a Toshiba. And it had wheels. And we went to Best Buy and got it and had it delivered. And then my dad was like, all right, this is your TV. Move it upstairs.
Your 32-inch? Oh.
I was like, okay, I got it. He was expecting me to just kind of pull it out and go, whoa, this is heavy, and then ask for help. So he walks away, and I just pulled it out, and it had handles in the back for you to grab it. So I just grab it, pull it up. I mean, that thing probably weighed 150 plus pounds easily.
Easy.
And then I took it upstairs into my room and put it into the entertainment center.
Shit.
And my dad was like, how the hell did you get it up there? And I'm like, I picked it up and walked it up the steps. He's like, it wasn't heavy. And I'm like, oh yeah, it was really heavy.
Yeah. But your father misunderestimated the motivation that comes with being told that you can have a 32-inch TV in your room. That's really what it all comes down to, is you are not going to give him the opportunity to be like, oh, just kidding. Or the opportunity to say, oh, it's too heavy. Well, I guess we'll leave it downstairs.
Yeah.
That's how you operate.
And that was my first TV in my room. So I was like, I got this. Bam.
Let's go. Adrenaline. Boom. Yeah. You were just given a magic lamp wish. So TVs in the room, this is what I'm building towards. That glass was thick. I don't know if you know this. You can add this to your story. But that glass is so thick on those big TVs. A little piece of trivia is that they would like fall forward because of the way they were set up. So a lot of the weight in there is also just straight. There's a piece of lead in the back of the TV underneath the back of the tube that counterbalances the glass. So they had to just straight put lead in the back so the TVs would not constantly just jump out of your, like lean towards the screen and jump out of your screen. So congratulations on deadlifting 150 pounds of glass and lead.
And not killing myself as a teenager.
But those 150 pounds of glass and lead were stable. Dong dong. And the TV wasn't broken. Things change from time to time. And I think that's why original NES games could be as hard as they were, because those TVs were as strong as they were, so that when you threw the controller,
just dunk,
the TV wouldn't break, and you more likely to break the controller. And I think you can see where I'm going with this. My oldest child just threw an original NES controller at the screen in his room.
Ooh. He's
He's having to live with a giant break in his TV screen right now and having to work it off with dad.
Ooh, that is, yeah. I was never a controller thrower. I've thrown a few cell phones in my lifetime, but I cannot think of a controller throw. I've got a friend who, if you're listening to this, you're getting called out, who has been known to break multiple controllers, and he was a controller throwing fool, to where when he would come over to hang out and play games, you would have to be like, throw it in the couch, throw it in the couch.
I was like, dude, what happened? He's like, I was playing this game. It's called Punch Out. And I said, oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately made sense to me. My wife was like, he did what? I was like, he was playing Punch Out. She's like, you're saying that like it's supposed to explain it.
It does.
Like, it does explain it.
Mike Tyson's Super Punch Out. You're Mac and you're gonna throw shit, probably. I still never threw a controller playing Punch Out. I will say that.
I definitely have. I never broke a controller, but I've certainly thrown it down in anger. And I've certainly had the controller hit something that was in the path hard enough to break, an OLED screen, which is what he broke, because that's just saran wrap over diamond crystals. Like, I don't even know what's going on under there, but there's no structural integrity to those TVs at all. No.
And you would think that, given the parlance of our times, that some Sony, especially Sony, given that they make PlayStations, would go, all right, we have created a protection glass for our TVs. So if you're playing Wii or Switch, or you've just got, that angry Cowboys fan in your life who just watched the Cowboys lose for the 50th freaking time in the playoffs, you can hit this screen and it's not going to dent it. I did see Samsung have new self-healing OLED screens. And I don't know if it's just somebody messing with me. I haven't seen any actual documentation. Of course, I haven't really tried to look it up. It's starting to turn into you. I'm not Googling shit to find out.
Fuck it.
But I saw the video of this guy who was like, look, these Samsungs have helped self-healing OLEDs. And he took a freaking iron and put it on the screen.
Like a hot iron?
Like it was hot. A hot iron. He poured water on it, so steam was coming off the iron. He's like, it's on. This is hot. And put it directly on the screen and pushed down and then pulled it off. And it burned the image of the outline of the iron on there. And then it started healing itself. And the image that was on the screen just came back. And I'm like, I don't know if this is just really good editing or if this is a real thing.
I assume that it's a real thing because they're going to try and, sell that sort of stuff. But is that really the kind of healing that we need?
We need to heal the world.
Like you hear a lot of stories, you see a lot of YouTube channels about people throwing NES controllers into their TV. Not once in the entire history of the internet have I been sent a viral video that was like, hey, check this out. And at the end of the video, someone accidentally put an iron on a TV. Like, that's one of those situations where it's like, okay, cool that you can do that. I get it. But so many things will have to have gone wrong in my life before I get to the point where I'm like, oh shit, what do I do with this iron burn on my TV?
I mean, it's the evolution in anger management. Instead of throwing controllers and punching TVs, you go get the iron, you turn it on, you wait a minute for it to heat up, and then you put it on your screen and then you take it away. And you're like, fuck.
Just imagine the raw fury that you have to have at whatever is on your TV to be able to wait a minute for your iron to come up to speed before you just put. Now, like, I get it. Like, if you're going to take it and just like Tucker Carlson's face, like, I understand that urge to just like sear that motherfucker off your TV. But still, I think I would think it through.
If this actually is, I mean, I just did a Google search. I'm not seeing any official documentation from Samsung themselves.
You made this up?
But it is, several people have done videos of it. And there is a blog where a guy is analyzing it and saying that the technology detects bad pixels and fixes them through AI.
We need that for this show, but like for hosts.
Yeah, you can't fix me that, but I mean, there's not enough technology in the world to fix me. The new self-healing sensors analyze images taken by the cameras, and they will be able to detect the bad pixels and fix them. The AI will map the whole sensor to look for anomalies, and after applying demosaic, I guess I'm saying that right, DEMOSAI.
Demi-glace. That's when you put like a cherry reduction on your roast. That's what it is.
That demi-glaze without the GLAZE. The AI will then go back to look for any pixels that it may have missed and fix those. So, I mean, it seems
they're using AI for everything. How does the AI do it, though? Like, does it have little tiny robot arms?
There's got to be like some kind of nano. Yeah, there's got to be like nanobots in the screen for that to be able to actually be a true function.
What if the TV cracks open and the nanobots get out?
That's how you end up with Metal Gear Solid.
You got that.
Nanobots take over, and then you get a bunch of different versions of Snake. The video game nerds out there, they know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that it's an inevitability that there's going to be self-healing.
What camera, though?
I guess there's a camera built into the screen. Like, maybe the screen itself is one large camera.
My TV does not want to be a big camera watching me watch TV.
Who's to say that there isn't already? I mean, we have tiny cameras, so who's to say that we don't have large cameras already built into TVs that we just don't know about? Maybe your entire laptop and your monitor for your computer is one giant camera just watching you all the time. It's not the little tiny camera that you think that you're covering up. It's built into the screen that you can't turn off.
For all of those privacy concern things, I always think there's always somebody out there like looking to be the person who I trust the collective desire of the internet to be the person that finds out that the corporation was out to get us, right? Like everybody always says with the Alexas, because I got a house full of A words. I won't say that anymore because, people might be listening to this show out loud.
Hey,
you can't do that to people anymore.
Hey, buy me.
No, stop. You can't do that. I'm going to edit. I'm going to beep you out in the edit. That's not nice to.
Sure it is.
I might shout that when I'm on Zooms with people for work to find out what they've got. Anyway, the point of the story is they say, oh, it's always listening to you. It's always got the thing. But, it only activates when you say the word. It's not always 24/7 recording. So as long as you don't shout the activation word while you're in sexy time, you don't have to worry about sending. I mean, I suppose there could be people just like who are partnered with someone named.
Didn't they prove that in some cases they were actually listening in and recording all aspects?
It doesn't record and send everything.
It like stores it, doesn't it? It has like a folder of all recordings that you could go into. Because I swear there was an article of a woman that went in and saw her recordings.
Yeah. You can see all of your recordings that it recorded, but it turns on the light. Like when you say the word, it turns on the light, and then for the next time it records that, right? Obviously, and then it has to send that up to the cloud. For those of you who aren't aware, like none of the processing is happening inside your little device. Like it has to use the Amazon smarts in their Amazon cloud stuff. But Google is the same way, and well, Microsoft would have been the same way if they hadn't given up on it. They're all the same, right? But
so Microsoft wants you to think that they gave up on it.
Maybe.
So they can do it on the sly.
On the sly.
They're just sneaky. Yeah. They're working with the government. I mean, when they got that huge $1 trillion contract or whatever it was, contract to work with the government, was it 2021? I was like, yeah, y'all gave up on your AI Alexa stuff. Right.
Sure. But I'm trying to get to the point of what I was, trying to allay people's fears a little bit, and you keep ramping it up.
We don't get the points. We don't get the points here. We go around.
You're a conspiracy theorist. That's what I'm finding out.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just a what if. I'm a what ifer.
I'm not saying that the world is flat. I'm saying what if the world is flat?
Yeah, I'm not that much of a conspiracy theorist. I'm not the flat earth, the vaccine is fake. I'm not that kind of conspiracy theorist. I'm more of a, all right, here's some evidence and some past history that leads me to believe it's a possibility. I'm not saying it is for sure. I'm just saying what ifer.
Yeah. I'm not saying the president of the United States is a lizard person. I'm saying, what if they ripped their face off during the next press conference and ate the press secretary? What if?
Yeah, what if?
That would be a really good episode of The View. They were just like, ah.
I'd actually watch that episode all the way through.
All the way through?
If all the panel members were just like, ah.
Would it be better if they were all lizard people, or would it be better if just one of them was like, what the fuck is going on?
Whoopi Goldberg would be the one that would be like, what the fuck is going on with this shit?
No way Whoopi is a lizard person.
The one person I'm sure is not a lizard person, Whoopi Goldberg. Maybe a little anti-Semitic, but not a lizard person.
I don't think so. I think she's just old. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, as an old person, you have to grant old people just a little bit of grace and kind of grade on a curve a little bit. Whoopi was my age when I was a small child. So she's got to be, I have no idea, but she's got to be pushing being old.
70 something, I think.
If you're out here trying and you get things you get things a little bit wrong, I think you got to like rewind the clock to when somebody was about, what's a good age for this? Let's call it 15 years old is the year that we should pick for everyone. And we should grade on a curve from the year in which you were 15 years old. And whatever was, if you are more progressive than the world was when you were 15, we should correct you gently. And if you regress behind the world when you were 15, like you go in the dumpster.
I can get behind that 100%.
If we were saying horrible, terrible things when you were 15 years old as acceptable forms of speech, and then you drop one that's like, well, I don't think we say that anymore. We say like, okay, then that's a soft correction.
It also depends on the feedback that they give when you try to soft correct.
Oh, sure.
If they double down,
yeah,
then to the dumpster with you.
Mm-hmm.
If they give a little bit of pushback, but then they kind of soften up, then it's like, all right, good. We've corrected you on your path. Move forward. Progress.
For example, if Alex Jones says Hitler wasn't a great guy, and you double down and say, nope, I've got a lot of respect for Hitler, dumpster with you.
to the trash. says the man that we dubbed that man.
No, stop. Stop saying that. I'm not accepting that title anymore.
It's on freaking recording on the internet.
I deleted it.
You deleted it, but it's still in my mind. You can't delete it from my hard drive.
There's only one internet, as I remind my children now that they're getting to an age of social media. But we were talking about AI, and I just wanted to make a comment real quick. Here's how I know the AI isn't going to kill us. Not yet, anyway. Because
not yet.
I use the aforementioned voice assistant in my daily life. It's how I build my shopping list. It's how I make sure I get everything while I'm at the store. And recently, which is fine, I don't pay for this service, and it's a wonderful service, so I should pay for it with just turning my entire life over to advertising. I'm fine with that. I made my peace with it, that's what I'm paying for the services that they provide. It's worth it to me. But I had bacon on my shopping list, and the AI suggested that maybe I needed a coupon for turkey bacon because I had bacon on my shopping list.
Turkey bacon.
Yeah.
You're one of those people?
No, I'm not one of those people, which is why I know the AI doesn't know anything.
Nothing wrong with being a turkey bacon fan if you're looking to, cut your cholesterol and everything. But I mean, if you're going to do it, just go for it and eat the real bacon. I mean, you only live once. Just don't eat it in moderation. Don't eat as much. If you are that much of a bacon fiend that you have to have bacon and your cholesterol is so out of whack that your doctor's like, you eat one more slice of real pork belly, you're going to conk over and have a heart attack right here, then maybe just simmer it down. I used to be a bacon fiend, and now one of the munchkins is a bacon fiend.
Bacon is fantastic.
To the point where he wants to microwave bacon. Bacon's one of the greatest foods of all time, hands down. And it goes great with almost anything. You can add it as a garnish. You can add it as
it's wonderful,
a condiment almost to a degree. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
they have bacon soap. You can use it for anything.
Yeah. It has a great scent. It doesn't have a great scent afterwards. Cleaning up a pan after you fried bacon is one of the smelliest, like nasty smelling things in the world. Oh,
I just pour it off and I like save a small amount of the bacon and use it to cook other stuff. So I don't let it get smelly.
Oh, I hate the smell.
Like I seal it up. I don't like smear it on my air conditioning unit and have it blow into the house. It's just a setup.
It's a good cooking.
But like I take a scoop of that. I use that bacon fat to juice well, you wouldn't care about this because you don't eat a burger.
Nope.
Here's the secret, because you're not going to get these secrets from Dev.
Nope, you aren't.
Make bacon, save the bacon fat. Just get last night's spaghetti glass jar, pour the bacon fat in there. You don't need very much. Then when you're making burgers, take the burger, then take like a teaspoon, just do as you feel, bacon fat, put it in the burger patty, and then just remix it up again. So now the burger fat is increased by the addition of bacon fat. And so you can get the leaner meat, like whatever's on sale.
The Laura's lean.
Just juice it with more delicious fat. So that's the cooking secret.
Juice it with more
delicious fat.
Do you like inject it with like a syringe? Like you're giving it HGH like it's a professional baseball player?
I mean, I would, but I just use my hands and I get a little dollop and then mix it up.
A dollop of Daisy.
No, not a dollop of Daisy. I would put a dollop of Daisy on foods that deserve sour cream, but beef needs pork fat. Did I ever tell you about my niece losing her mind over fake bacon? Do you know this story?
Fake bacon, like turkey bacon, fake bacon, or like?
Well, it's beef bacon in this story, but
wait, there's beef bacon?
Yeah. Okay.
Like jerky?
You're surprised by this. So I know that I've never told you this story. This is great. Okay. So my niece is Muslim. My sister and her family, they're Muslim. So they don't eat pork. Okay. So they have turkey bacon. My sister We grew up eating bacon. My sister likes bacon. I don't understand why my sister subjects her children to turkey bacon, but that's how her family chooses to live. I'm not going to judge that. Okay. My niece is the sweetest girl. Hardly, like, compared to my wild children, like, my niece comes over and she's just this like wave of calm energy in my house. It's absolutely bizarre. I do not understand how my sister was blessed with a child that appears when she's around me to not be a problem. She says that sometimes there are temper tantrums. Sure, I believe it. I got one small glimpse into what rage might look like from my niece when she was reminded of the story of the time that they went to Red Robin and they told her that there was bacon on the burger that she was getting, and the restaurant was in Kuwait, so they knew that it was not pork bacon. She assumed it would be turkey bacon, and it turns out that it was beef bacon. Now, I've never had beef bacon. I was surprised, just like you, to find out that it exists.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that it doesn't exist here in America, according to my niece, is if you think that turkey bacon is disappointing, the absolute full-blown rage in the retelling of this story from my beautiful 8-year-old niece about how it wasn't turkey bacon and was instead beef bacon. She was, ugh, it is gross. They don't even tell you. They don't warn you.
You got to tell somebody about that. You can't just give them beef bacon and think it's turkey bacon.
Oh, it was absolutely hilarious. Just listening to her go on a podcast ready rant about the absolute horribleness of beef bacon. So that's my measuring stick. I've never had beef bacon, and a girl who eats turkey bacon every single day and enjoys it, which is not good, said that beef bacon is atrocious. So I can only imagine that from a scale of pork bacon to beef bacon, you have every single food imaginable fits within that scale of deliciousness.
I want to try it now because I'm in my mind, it sounds good. It sounds better than turkey bacon because there's more fat in beef than is in turkey. So you would think to make beef bacon, you're going to find one of the most marbleized fatty areas to make the bacon from.
I mean, you think.
In your mind, it makes sense. And I'm also thinking when you say beef bacon, my mind goes straight to beef jerky.
Sure.
For some reason.
Well, I mean, they're the same shape.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of beef jerky. It's a texture thing. So I get where she's going. If it's similar to beef jerky, I get her anger because I would be upset if I got bacon and it wasn't pork bacon and it was beef and then it had the texture of jerky. I'd be like, what the fuck is this shit?
When we have Dev and Kyle's prank show where we just steal the candid camera concept like a bunch of other shows have ever done, so obviously you're allowed to do it. One of our pranks is going to be having a restaurant and then people order bacon, but we'll just serve them beef jerky and see what they say.
It's day bacon.
Day bacon?
It's day bacon because you can eat it during the day. Like bacon, you typically eat bacon for breakfast. It's bacon is synonymous with breakfast.
Uh-huh. When do you have breakfast?
In the morning.
During the day.
Not during the day. Not like through the course of the day. Like you wouldn't just have a bag of bacon.
So how do you break up in your vernacular, how do you break up a day?
Don't question. It doesn't make sense. I'm not the one that came up with this. This is from my close group of friends. I don't even know which one of the freaking chuckle fucks came up with it, but it is stuck since 5th grade, since I've known all of them. Beef jerky has been called day bacon by this group of 7-8 guys. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of beef jerky, but I still call it day bacon, even though it's like, but isn't bacon day bacon too? Well, yeah, day bacon's still day bacon, but beef jerky is like throughout the day bacon. It's just you got a bag. It's not greasy. It's not breaking up as much. That's the way I was explained in the reasoning behind the vernacular.
This sounds like the same thing that would go into like Blade, the Marvel superhero. For those of you not
the Daywalker, the Day Bacon.
He's a hybrid vampire human, but one of his superpowers being a vampire was that he could walk around in the sunshine. And so all the vampires would call him Daywalker, which makes a lot of sense. But Day Bacon, that would just be like if Blade was just a guy. And he was just like Spider-Man, and no one had a problem with sunshine, but they still just called him Daywalker. And they're like, why you call him Daywalker? Well, because he walks around during the day. Yeah, but we do too.
Yeah, but he's the Daywalker.
He's the Daywalker. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Day Bacon.
Yeah, I'm a Daywalker. He's the Daywalker. It's different.
Yeah. And there's no baking whatsoever involved in making jerky. It's dehydrating. You're not baking anything. Where there's a little bit of baking to a degree with making bacon. You got to fry it up.
Well, you can frying is not baking, but you can bake bacon, which is the best way to make a bunch of bacon.
If you're making a ton, like especially if you're making candy bacon, you got to put it in the oven.
Oh, sure. But also if you just need to protect the bacon that you're making from people coming through the kitchen and like just skimming bacon off the top.
Bacon, making, protecting.
Yeah. I'm in here making bacon.
Making bacon, protecting my bacon. I ain't faking while we're shaking bacon. Don't be taking my bacon that I'm making.
This segue is a very tenuous stretch, but I wanted to make sure that we talked about this. So because we're talking about food, I found out a food-related hot goss that I had to share with you.
Hot goss.
Hot gossip. Okay. Top of the Spotify charts. Shakira's got that diss track for her former man, the soccer player. I did not care anything about this. I see it on your face. Do you know where I'm going with the food-related part of this story?
Yeah, that's how she busted her husband. His mistress was eating her jam that no one else ate.
Yeah.
And she found out, she put a mark on the jar and it went down below the mark and she hadn't eaten any and she knew no one else in the house ate it.
He apparently hates jam. Not just she had special jam that he knew not to touch. He apparently is revolted by the concept of jam and would never eat jam. And Shakira found jam missing after being on tour for some amount of time and came back and found the jam jar missing jam. And that was how she knew not just that he was stooping somebody on the side, but that in fact she was spending time in his house and was not just a disposable person. And that's the straw that broke the camel's back.
And evidently his mom lives across the street from them. So she supposedly, according to Akira, from what I'm gathering, because she kept dissing his mom, she was jamming that diss track like at full blast, with speakers pointed over at her house. So I'm assuming since she lives so close that either she did know for sure and was covering for her son, or Shakira just assumes since your mom lived that close and you all are that close that she knew somebody was going in and out of the house and is just lying that she didn't know. One of the two.
I know for a fact that regardless of whether or not my mother was in fact covering for me, that if I forced my wife to live as neighbors with my mother, that should something ever go wrong, that my wife would assume and just point a diss track directly at my mother.
Oh yeah, same. It's not that your mom would cover for you.
No, she would not.
It's the fact that she is your mom, and it is assumed that mothers cover for their children, especially mothers covering for their sons. It's just one of those, like, it may not be a fact, but it's
yeah, that might be it.
Embedded in our collective psyche that moms always take care of their baby boys.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Whether they do or not. I mean, I get slammed all the time, and my mom does too. Like if something goes wrong, it's like, oh, your mom had to have known. It's like, no, she didn't. She had no clue.
My mother has no idea. I had to take my mom's phone from her and subscribe it to this show, and I still don't think she's ever listened.
I believe my mom's a Patreon.
She is. Absolutely. Big shout out to Dev's mom.
I don't know if she's listening right now. I don't even know if she's continued to listen. She may have subscribed to be a Patreon and then completely forgotten about it. Who knows? We'll find out.
We will find out. Email us if you're Dev's mom or not. Email us at devnkylesta@gmail.com. That's Dev, the letter N, Kyle, start the apocalypse @gmail.com. That's the very first time. We made it 40 minutes into the show today, and that is the first time that I have plugged the email. I'm getting bad at this job. I'm getting complacent.
Well, it's one of those things where if you don't know the email by now, and this is your first time listening, you'll hear it eventually. If you want to reach out, it's out there. You found us somehow. You can Google and find our page, and then find that. It's pretty easy.
Speaking of being bad at your job,
Please laugh.
it's joke time, Dev. All right. It's about a guy being, I don't know, maybe this joke is about a guy being really, really good at his job. The segue was supposed to be that he was bad at his job, but we'll see. You tell me what you think at the end of this.
He's so good that he is bad, or he's so bad that he's good.
We'll see. There's a guy needs to buy a suit. He goes to the suit store. Suit salesman, listen, I got suits over here. Ooh, those are a little expensive. I got these suits over here. Ooh, no, I'm really on a tight budget, but I need to get this suit. Suit salesman's like, all right, I got you. Come on over here. Let's try this one on. So he's getting the suit on, and he puts it on, and the guy's like, this left arm is like longer than the other side. He's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's why it's such a bargain. But if you just sort of stand like this with your shoulder up and kind of tuck your chin against your lapel, like you can make it look all right. And the guy's like, okay, all right, I guess. Yeah. This right leg is, though, it's like way too short on this side. Yeah. That, again, you're getting what you pay for here, buddy. Like, I don't know. But if you sort of bend your knee and walk sort of this way, and he kind of demonstrates, and he's holding his to the lapel, and see, nobody will even notice. That's why this suit is $15. Okay. You know what? I need the suit. Okay. All right. So he gets it, and he finally puts it on, and he gets all set up and cocks his head to the side and lifts his shoulder, and he rolls his leg under, and he goes walking out. And in the parking lot of the suit store, there's a couple of doctors. And the first doctor says, boy, look at that poor crippled fella. And the second doctor says, yeah, but that suit looks great on him.
I thought I saw where it was going, and then it went where I thought I was going. Hey, great salesman, though. He's great.
See, a great salesman. That's what I was thinking, is that he's a bad, I was going to say seamstress, but what's the non-gendered word for
tailor?
A tailor. Oh, okay. So bad tailor. No, but does a tailor make the clothes from scratch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought a tailor just like tailored the clothes. Like you started with something and then they modified it slightly. And then
no, a tailor can make custom clothes as well. Yeah. Custom tailored.
Yeah, I guess so. You got it. All right. A tailor.
Education is important.
See, I learn here every day. When I was 15 years old, we would say seamstress. But now it's okay. I've learned we can just say tailor. And that's okay.
I've always assumed it was a tailor regardless of gender.
Well, I think it is. I think you're right. But that's what the word I was thinking of was seamstress to make a clothes. And I was like, a seamster? That's not right.
A fashion designer.
Yeah, but even still, that would be a designer and not a maker.
Now I'm questioning all the times that I was forced to watch Project Runway with one of my exes. If those terminologies were interchangeable or not. That's really going to bug me. That's okay. Now I gotta do what I do and go to the Google and see tailor and seamstress. Are they synonyms? Tailor and seamstress. A seamstress is a woman whose occupation is sewing. A male is referred to a seamster.
They really are called a seamster?
A seamster, yeah. Not a teamster.
Not a seamster. But I bet if there was a whole group of seamsters, they would be part of the Teamster Union.
A tailor is a person whose occupation is making or altering outer garments. Seamstresses and seamsters usually work with fabrics, seams, and hemlines exclusively. So there you go.
Fabrics, seams, and hemlines exclusively.
A tailor is also a seamstress/seamster, but a seamstress/seamster is not necessarily a tailor. It's kind of the square rectangle.
A square rectangle?
A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you were envisioning some other type of rectangle that was not generally square shaped, like those triangular rectangles,
Like a rhombus, a trapezoid.
Yeah, like a trapezoid.
It's got 4 angles and 4 sides.
Mm-hmm. Like this show, 4 angles.
I mean, a trapezoid's not a rectangle, though, is it? No.
Isn't a rectangle have to have 90-degree angles? I think that's what it has to be. Don't Google that. Let's just let people guess. Let's just let people scream at the show. You fucking morons. A trapezoid.
You don't know geometry.
Mm-mm.
A rectangle is a trapezoid and a square is a trapezoid, but a trapezoid is not a rectangle or a square.
Oh my God, this levels of inception just
Not necessarily a
just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Because you can have rhombuses and parallelograms, and you can have like isosceles and acute and obtuse trapezoids.
You're making words up.
A rectangle and a square are trapezoids, but a trapezoid is not necessarily a rectangle or a square.
Where did you find? Are you on Wikipedia or some other just like shapesrus.com?
I'm saying this from all right, I'm going to Google it now to make sure that I'm correct.
Wait, what did you do before?
I was just pulling that out of my head. Okay, let's Google this. Trapezoid.
That was impressive then. I thought for sure you were reading.
Ha ha ha. No. Okay, I was correct. You've got parallelograms, non-parallelograms. Parallelograms would be like rhombuses and rhomboids. So like rhombus is a square that's kind of angled, so it looks like a diamond. Then your non-parallelograms.
Like a Dustin diamond?
Yeah, non-parallelograms. There's 2 sides that are parallel, but then 2 sides that are not parallel that would intersect at some point if they went on indefinitely. That's your trapezoids. These are all types of trapezoids.
Speaking of going on indefinitely.
Ha 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 ha! I found an image. Yes. All right. I'm sending you this image. It's
on the internet.
Yeah, on the internet. I found an image. I would show this to everybody else. I guess I should post this on our Twitter.
We never put anything on Twitter.
That is, you got acute, obtuse. Yeah, we don't put shit on Twitter.
The first what is a discussion of the difference between a parallelogram and a trapezoid.
I'm doing it right now.
Boy, this is the content that people fucking love. This will be good. Doing it right now. That's even better that you're doing it before this episode goes live. So that'll just be our one single standalone tweet for 3 days. You will have no idea what the fuck is going on. Then this episode will air and they'll say, what the fuck is going on? It will not make any more sense.
No, it makes no sense. This is just my ADHD, ASD brain going off on the rails and then picking up something and then doing my Google thing and showing that I actually do remember shit from geometry somewhat. I'll take it. I will take it.
We need to record at night more, I think is what I'm learning.
I need something to soothe my brain a little bit more instead of caffeine. Caffeine in the middle of the day or the morning, I'm all over the place. I can't function properly as a podcast host.
It's, a little topical to suggest it right now, but they do make that mushroom coffee.
Mushroom.
That doesn't actually contain any coffee and has mushrooms in it.
Like the psilocybin coffee?
Not psilocybin coffee, cordyceps coffee, which sounds a little weird to drink.
Cordyceps coffee.
Now that The Last of Us.
Right. You want me to fucking turn into a clicker?
I have been drinking occasionally because it comes in a little satchel packet, like an instant.
Like from a medicine man, like in the wild.
No, like from the same sort of packet that sugar comes in. It's very mass produced.
Ah, it's like Splenda shrooms.
Yeah, Splenda shrooms. Yeah, but they're real shrooms as opposed to Splenda being fake sugar.
There's our tweet.
You did tweet it. Oh my God.
And I just put, yep.
Jesus. This is the highlight of my day. My day hasn't even started yet.
It's almost halfway through for me. What are you talking about?
Mushroom coffee. That's what I was talking about. It comes in a little packet. Then you just put it in hot water and you stir it up and it comes out. It's supposed to be better, like smoother than just the janky ass caffeine in coffee. So maybe you could try that. And if you turn into a clicker, well then, c'est la vie.
It was nice knowing you. I'll become part of a hive mind.
Much like all the rest of the apocalypse does. We're sort of already halfway there.
I mean, that's how we truly start the apocalypse, is I become the first person to contract cordyceps that ends up being the one that spreads the disease.
I mean, that's as good a theory as any. We keep taking pot shots at it, keep bringing up people, keep having them fall from grace on this show. You know, so far, I was checking the news. Lonnie Johnson has not surfaced yet. So we're still safe.
Knock on wood.
We got one thing we brought up that didn't turn to garbage.
Yet.
2023
has only been in a month. We got time.
This could be the year that everything goes, up.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, supposedly we're at the end of a bear market in the stocks. Supposedly.
Supposedly. Don't listen to us for financial advice. Not one iota of financial advice. The stocks are going to go up or down. I guarantee it. One of those two.
Or left or right. Yeah, they might just stay flat. They might go down. They might go up. They're going to do one of those three things for sure.
Supposedly. I was explaining the concept of scams, and how do the law of big numbers, like Ponzi schemes and things to my oldest child. He was interested. He heard about the existence of a Ponzi scheme and he was trying to figure out how did it work. And so I was explaining you get two people to give you $10 and then you get it right. And so we were going through the whole thing. And I was talking about how I had heard how the stock scam sets up is that you just get 100,000 people and you call them all up and you tell half of them that stock X is going to go to the moon. And the other half that's the stock X is going to go down. And then when you
watch chaos ensue.
No, then all these people are separate. And then so for half of the people in your pool, you got it right. So then no matter what happens, you have half of your original 100,000 people. Then you call the 50,000 people back and you're like, hey, I'm a genius. And then you tell half of them that some other stock is going to go up and it's going to go down. And then you wait. And then one of those two things happens. And then you call your remaining half that you got it right. So now you're two for two. You do it again and down till you get to a pool of, 500 people where you have been 7 for 7 and they don't know that you've discarded 99,500 of your original marks. But then the last 500 people, you're like, all right, now's the chance. Give me all your life savings and we're going to invest it in Throx. And that's how we're going to make our money. It's a can't lose deal. And because you were 7 for 7, they're like, all right, yeah, I made a bunch of money with this guy. But the other people lost a little bit of money and you weren't actually scamming those people. You just gave them a stock tip. So you're not actually breaking the law until you get down to the last group of people. But those people are already sold on you.
And then you take their money and you fly off to the Caymans.
Yeah, and you invest it in 3 socks for the price of 2. Did you see it? Did you see that on Shark Tank? That was a real thing.
No.
I'm not kidding.
3 socks for the price of 2.
Yeah, and they called it Throx so that you could lose one and still have a pair of socks.
That's actually somewhat ingenious to a degree because everybody has socks that get eaten by the sock gnomes. Or
did you get yours back?
Reality is that. No, I haven't taken my freaking drum apart yet. I'm going to. I keep saying I'm going to take that drum apart and find all those missing socks. But the fact is, one, I don't have the time to go up there by myself to do it. Because every time I go up there, I'm followed by 1 or 2 munchkins.
Sure.
Or there's something else going on that I'm like, all right, I would literally need probably an hour and a half, 2 hours of complete silence and solace. That when I do have that time, I don't want to be doing it, taking apart the dryer.
And not for something that you don't need, right? Because you can just buy more socks.
Well, right. But there's some socks that I know for a fact that the missing sock is in there because there's nowhere else it could be.
There's lots of places it could be. You have a big house.
Well, when you wash the socks and they go in together and then you take all of the laundry out and there's a sock missing, there's nowhere else it could be.
How do you know it's not in the washing machine?
Because the washing machine drum, there's nowhere that the clothes could get above it because it's a top load. So there's no seals that it could get on the outside of that drum. If it did, then...
How does the water get out?
Well, it's got holes for it to seek it. The holes are too tiny for a sock to fit in.
The sock could be going out just like one little thread. It could be coming apart and just zip.
If that's the case,
they spins real fast, and that little thread could just be like a cartoon sweater.
I don't put it on high spin. I put mine on low and medium spin. I don't want them on that high spin.
It would just take longer.
Well, no, it's the same agitation. It's just when it's spinning to get the excess water, it's not at a higher spin. I like to have a little bit of extra water, so when I throw it in the dryer, it helps fluff it up and get the wrinkles out. Because as it heats up, so when you throw the clothes from the washer into the dryer, I still want some wet. I don't want it to just be like damp. I want some actual water to still be in it.
You want your dryer to have to work harder.
A little bit harder.
So that your clothes are fluffier when they come out.
So as it heats up, it steams.
Your dryer is mad at you and taking a sock tax. The dryer's looking at that washing machine like, that motherfucker gets it easy, only has to do a low spin, and then I got to do twice as much work. Fuck you taking your socks. That's what's happening with your dryer. That's why my dryer doesn't take my socks. That's why. Because I say, let's evenly split the load. They come as a pair, right? That's like an unequal distribution of domestic duty.
That's fair.
Just think how mad your wife would be if you asked her to do twice as much work because you liked the end product better.
I have asked that, and it's not gone over too well. It usually ends up with like some jabbing stares and maybe a couple fuck yous or what the fuck are you thinking? Yeah.
You would have been happy to simply pay a sock tax. You should be glad that all your dryer is doing is taking socks based on what you're asking of the distribution of laundry.
It's taking socks, but it's not destroying them as far as I know. It's holding them
hostage.
It's holding them lovingly on the inside. Yeah.
It's not a sock murderer. It's just a sock hostage taker.
Yeah. It's a sock kidnapper. I just need like Samuel L. Jackson from The Negotiator to come in and talk it down and relinquish the socks.
That would be we would be great at advertising. That would be a great Maytag. Give us a call. Here's what you need. Hire Samuel L. Jackson as the Maytag man.
Yes.
Where he comes over and just motherfuckers your dryer until it gives up the goods. Instead of that bored Maytag man. We got to re-envision this for the 21st century.
Same thing with like the dishwasher. He comes over and he yells at the dishwasher. He's like, motherfucker, you leaving spots on my glass.
I'm so sick and tired of the motherfucking spots on the motherfucking glass. That's exactly how that line could be repurposed for a new generation.
Like, we ain't got no motherfucking hard water here. Well, I got motherfucking spots on my motherfucking glass.
Speaking of having to find socks, Dev.
We got to find some.
We got to go.
Yeah.
It has been another enjoyable morning hour, even though we've been a little schizophrenic.
That's normal, though. When are we not?
I think it's been a little extra today.
It's a little more than usual. Little extra.
Until next time, I have been Kyle.
I have been Dev.
And we have attempted to start the apocalypse. Good morning, everybody.
Good night. Day bacon, day bacon, day bacon.
Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse is brought to you every other week with a full archive available at devandkyle.com. The Apocalypse theme and other music in the show is written and performed by Chase Noseworthy. He's Chase Noseworthy on YouTube or at NoseworthyChase on Twitter. All graphic design for Dev and Kyle Start the Apocalypse has been created by Dead Vision. Find her work on Twitter and Insta at XDADOTTER and book her immense talents at xdadotter.com. Audio engineering provided by Cassandra Umsong. She can make you sound even better than Dev and Kyle because you'll provide much better raw materials. Get in touch with her on Twitter at coffeewithcoom. That's coffee with C-O-U-M. Dev and Kyle support artists and creatives of all types. Exposure is for film. Artists need compensation. If you're interested in becoming an apocalypto to help keep supporting all of the artists who make Dev and Kyle sound passably professional, please consider becoming a sustaining patron at patreon.com/devandkyle. Show notes, transcripts, and any other information from this episode should be available at devandkyle.com if Dev and or Kyle did their job. Fingers crossed. Finally, deeply and sincerely, Dev and Kyle think that you are a wonderful person who deserves love and compassion. We hope our small gift of what we consider interesting or entertaining has made your day even the tiniest bit better. Thank you for liking or subscribing in your favorite podcast app. And if you think others may want to know about this show, consider leaving a review in that same podcast app. It really helps us spread the word. Thank you.